If you work in a warehouse, you already know the truth. You lift America on your back. From the pallets you stack to the trucks you load, you keep this country moving. But while you're lifting the economy still feels like it's lifting you by the throat. It's a weight that never seems to let up, no matter how hard you push. Overtime one week where you're living in the building, and then barely any hours the next. It's a constant guessing game that makes planning your life impossible. Rent is rising, groceries are rising, gas is rising. Everything you need to survive is getting more expensive by the day. But your paycheck? Not so much. Your paycheck stays flat while the world gets more expensive. It's a rigged system, and it's okay to be frustrated. But frustration isn't a plan. This video is your blueprint for beating a system that was never built for you. We're going to build a plan that gives you stability and a way out. Chapter 1, let's break down the real enemies. We have to identify the forces holding you back before we can fight them. Enemy number 1 is income volatility. In the warehouse world, your time isn't your own. It's dictated by the feast or famine cycle of logistics. Peak season hits and you're doing 50 to 60 hours a week. You're exhausted, your back hurts, but the money is good. You feel like you're finally getting ahead. Then January hits, the slow season. Suddenly you're lucky to get 28 hours. The math that worked last month just failed. The money stops, but the bills don't. Mandatory OT leads to total physical and mental burnout. You're trading your health for that check, but when the OT disappears, that's when the debt traps start. Enemy number 2, high baseline costs. Just being a warehouse worker is expensive. It costs a lot of money just to show up for your shift every day. Think about the gas for that long commute because you can't afford to live near the job. Think about the constant car repairs from driving 20 miles each way. Then there's rent. In most logistics hubs, rent is skyrocketing because demand is high and supply is low. You're paying for the privilege of working in a warehouse. Food inflation hits us the hardest. When eggs and milk double in price, it doesn't hurt the CEO, it hurts the person on the floor. It takes a bigger slice of your check. Enemy number 3, debt traps. This is where the system really catches you. It's designed to keep you in a cycle of interest and repayments. When hours drop in the slow season, credit cards fill the gap. You buy groceries on credit just to make it to next week. Then interest eats your next paycheck. Before you even see your money, a chunk of it is already gone to pay for last month's survival. It's a treadmill you can never quite get off. Enemy number 4, limited benefits. Most warehouse jobs are missing the basic tools for long-term wealth. They give you a check, but they don't give you security. No retirement matching means you're not building a future. Unpredictable raises mean you can't plan for next year. And insurance. Usually it's a joke. This isn't a personal failure. You are hardworking, you are valuable. This failure is structural. The system is rigged, but we are going to find the exits. Chapter 2. Since your income is unstable, your budget must be stable. We're going to build a foundation that won't crumble when the warehouse goes quiet. The first rule of warehouse survival: budget using your lowest possible paycheck, not your average, and definitely not your peak season check. If your worst week of the year is $620, that is your number. You budget every single week like that is all you have. Period. Everything you earn above that base amount is a surplus. In peak season, that surplus is huge, but you don't spend it. You assign it to savings or debt payoff. Next, you need the 2-account system. This is how you separate your needs from your wants and protect your bill money from your spending habits. Account A is for bills only: rent, utilities, insurance, phone. You never, ever touch this money for anything else. It is sacred. Account B is for your daily life: food, gas, and those small extras. By splitting them, you ensure your housing is always secure, even in a slow week. This system protects you when the warehouse goes quiet. You've already covered the basics in account A, so you don't have to panic. You just tighten account B. To make this work long-term, you need the automated savings blueprint. Set up small recurring transfers to your buffer account every single payday, even $10. Automation takes the decision out of your hands. If you wait until the end of the week to see what's left, the answer will always be 0. Pay yourself first. The peace of mind you get from knowing your rent is covered is worth every bit of the effort. It's the first step toward true financial freedom. Chapter 3. This is your shield, the $300 to $500 buffer. It's a small number that makes a massive impact on your life. Why this amount? Because most warehouse emergencies, a flat tire, a broken phone, a missed shift, cost between $300 and $500. Having this buffer prevents you from falling into the payday loan trap. It stops you from paying 400% interest just to fix your car and get to work. It stops the credit card interest spiral before it starts. It's your first line of defense against the unexpected. It gives you room to breathe. Where do you get it? Use your next overtime burst. Don't spend that extra money on gear or games. Put it straight into your Shield account. Peak season bonuses or tax refunds are also perfect for building this. It's a one-time effort that pays off every single day of the year. Look around your garage or your closet. Selling unused tools or gear on a marketplace app can get you that initial buffer faster than you think. The Shield isn't just money, it's a habit. Once you have it, you'll never want to be without it again. It changes the way you look at every shift. Chapter 4. It's time to start using the system's own tools against it. Most warehouses have programs they don't advertise, but you have to find them. Go to HR or check your employee handbook. Look for things like tuition reimbursement. They'll pay for you to learn a new skill. Use that. If they'll pay for a logistics certificate or even a degree, that is a massive benefit. It's literally thousands of dollars in free value if you're willing to do the work. Don't ignore the safety bonuses or performance incentives. They might seem small, but when you're budgeting on your lowest check, they become powerful tools. Always look for internal promotions. The easiest way to get a raise is to move up in the same building. You already know the layout. Use that to your advantage. Next, let's talk about the IRS. If you have kids and work in a warehouse, the Earned Income Tax Credit is one of the most powerful wealth tools you have. It's a refundable credit designed for people like you. It can be worth thousands. It's not a handout. It's your money that you earned through hard work. The child tax credit is another one. Make sure your tax preparer is finding every single credit you're entitled to. Don't leave a single dollar with the government. And don't forget union pressure. Even if you're in a non-union shop, you benefit from the standards they set. It keeps the whole industry's wages higher. The system is big, but it has cracks. Your job is to find those cracks and use them to your advantage. Every benefit is a step toward freedom. Chapter 5. How to increase your income without even leaving the building. Small moves in the warehouse lead to big jumps in your paycheck. The fastest way to a raise is a certification. If you're a general laborer, your goal should be to get on a machine as soon as possible. A forklift certification is like a golden ticket. It makes you indispensable and usually adds an extra $2 to $4 an hour to your base pay immediately. PT operator certification is another huge win. The more complex the machine, the more they have to pay you to run it. It's a direct link to a higher check. Don't want to drive? Look into inventory control. Learning the software behind the boxes makes you a specialist, and specialists get paid more. Inventory control training or safety committee roles also command higher pay. These are transferable skills you can take to any warehouse in the world. There's a hierarchy in every warehouse. Your job is to climb it one certification at a time. Each one is a new lever you can pull for more money. You don't need a 4-year degree for this. You just need to stack skills like Legos. It's about becoming the most valuable person in the room. Think about it. An extra $4 an hour is over $8,000 a year. That's your emergency fund, your car repair, and your vacation paid for. Don't forget shift differentials. If you're willing to work nights or weekends, most warehouses will pay you a premium. It's an easy way to boost your income instantly. Your income is a tool. The bigger the tool, the faster you build your future. Go get that certification this week. Don't wait. Chapter 6. Now this is the ultimate blue-collar career hack. Skill stacking is how you move from being a worker to being a professional. One skill is good, but 2 skills together are unstoppable. We're going to look at some combinations that will explode your earning potential. Combination 1, warehouse experience plus a basic Excel course. This leads directly to operations assistant or coordinator roles. Office work with floor knowledge. You move from the floor to the office without losing your seniority. You're using your brain instead of just your back, and the pay reflects that. Use an AI skill translator to turn your warehouse experience into corporate speak for your resume. It turns moved boxes into optimized logistics workflow. Combination 2, warehouse experience plus a CDL. This makes you the ultimate logistics asset. You can load the truck and then drive it. Yard jockeys and local drivers earn a much higher salary with way more stability. It's a much higher ceiling for your income and gives you career freedom. These are transferable skills. Once you have them, you can work anywhere. You're no longer tied to one warehouse, you're part of a global network. This is your exit strategy. You're building leverage every single day you're in that building. You're not just working for a check, you're building a career. Chapter 7, you don't have to beat the system alone. We're going to use the power of the community to cut costs and build a support network. The break room isn't just for eating, it's where the best information is shared. It's the break room economy, and you need to be part of it. Carpooling is a massive win. If 4 of you share a ride, you're saving thousands of dollars a year on gas and wear and tear. That money stays in your pocket. Shared lunches and bulk buying clubs are how working people have always survived. Buy in bulk together and split the savings. It beats the vending machine every time. Tool sharing networks are another great tool. You don't all need to own a lawnmower or a drill. Share with your coworkers and save that money for your buffer. Perform a weekly paycheck reset with a buddy. Spend 10 minutes every Friday reviewing your numbers together. Accountability is the secret to staying on track. The best jobs are often shared by word of mouth in the break room. Build your network. Be the person people want to recommend for that new lead position. We are stronger when we work together. The system wants you isolated and desperate. But when we share information and resources, we become powerful. The system is rigged. That's a fact we all know, but it doesn't mean you're powerless. You have a voice, you have skills, and now you have a plan. Warehouse workers deserve stability. You deserve to come home with money in the bank and a future you're excited about. Let's build it, starting today. Subscribe for more blue-collar financial survival guides. We're in this together. See you on the floor.